This was supposed to be a simple yes or no question, but it exploded fast. In a Senate hearing that went completely off the rails, Pete Hegseth snapped after being pressed on antisemitism inside the Pentagon. Accusations flew, tempers flared, and the room froze. Watch closely. This exchange says a lot more than either side intended.
Look, Senator Rosen, you're recognized. I thought I would just create a stir down there.
No, I thank you to my seatmates on both sides. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We take care of each other. And again, thank you, Chairman Wicker, Ranking Member Reed, for holding this hearing. Mr. Secretary, we have a short amount of time, so I'm just going to ask a few simple questions, and I would just appreciate if, for some of them, you would just answer yes or no. And so, Secretary Hegseth, would you agree that every senior official in the Department of Defense must reflect the values and conduct that our service members must uphold and our citizens expect?
Senator, we want to uphold the highest possible standards.
I'll take that for a yes. So would you also agree then that anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories have no place in our government or military? Yes or no?
They should not.
Thank you. So would you also agree that anyone who has posted, and I'm going to quote, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories lifted right out of a neo-Nazi playbook, end quote, shouldn't be anywhere near a position of power? Yes or no?
Since I don't believe the characterization of many officials in the news media, I would need to see precisely what's being characterized.
But generally, would you not say that if
generally
we
speaking,
thought something
sure.
was coming out of a neo-Nazi playbook, it doesn't have any place in our Department of Defense? Now, Secretary Hegseth, the quote that I just read you was referencing Ms. Kingsley Wilson, the DOD press secretary. It's a direct quote from her, who my Republican colleagues on this committee have also expressed alarm over due to her comments. In fact, one colleague said, and I'm going to quote again, "Obviously, I don't agree with her comments. I trust the Pentagon will address this," end quote. However, in the months since, not only have you not addressed these anti-Semitic comments, you have promoted Ms. Wilson. This seems to be at odds, honestly, with President Trump's commitment, very public commitment, to combat anti-Semitism, which you just said you two agreed with. So, Secretary Hegseth, given the rise in anti-Semitic violence, hate crimes in our nation, and to show that the Trump administration, your administration, does have a zero-tolerance policy for anti-Semitism, will you dismiss Ms. Kingsley from her role as a U.S. military spokesperson today, yes or no?
Again, that's why I referenced the context and characterization.
Well, we'll send you the quote,
I've worked
sir.
directly with her. She does a fantastic job, and there's any suggestion that I or her or others are party to anti-Semitism is a mischaracterization, attempting to win political points.
Quote, sir, and I'm going to say
Senator, you're attempting to win political points on the backs of mischaracterizing the statements of a member of my department, and I'm not going to stand for that.
You are not a serious person. You are not serious about rooting out, fighting anti-Semitism within the ranks of our DOD. It's despicable. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
This exchange wasn't really about a single staffer or one set of old posts. It was about accountability and power. Senator Jacky Rosen came in with what should have been straightforward questions. Does anti-Semitism belong anywhere near the Department of Defense? Yes or no? But instead of clear answers, she hit a wall of deflection. What made this moment explosive wasn't just the refusal to answer, it was the tone shift. When Pete Hegseth stopped addressing the substance and started attacking the questioner's motives, the hearing crossed from oversight into confrontation. Calling a U.S. senator not serious during a Senate hearing is not normal, and it's not accidental. That outburst changed the dynamic instantly. To critics, it looked like someone circling the wagons rather than confronting the issue. To supporters, it was a full-throated rejection of what they see as politically motivated accusations. Either way, the substance got buried under the spectacle, and that's the point. At a time when anti-Semitism is rising nationwide, this moment raised an uncomfortable question. Why was it so hard to give a simple, unequivocal answer? When leadership bristles instead of clarifies, it fuels mistrust, inside government and outside it. This wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a snapshot of a deeper divide over transparency, loyalty, and where accountability ends when politics begins. And that's why this exchange is still being talked about.